All right, everybody. Sorry for the lateness. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. And yeah, technology. If you're not on top of it, it'll leave you behind. Um, so give yourself a little extra time. Um, but yeah, so I hope everybody's having a great summer. It is June, and I hope you guys are crushing it because I know that a lot of people were saying it was super, super slow. And some people are still feeling the slowness. And I don't know. I don't want to say it's something about the process at this point, but it may be something about the process. But how you been doing, Cliff?
Enjoying the journey, brother. Getting ready for a cruise, which I'm excited for, going to Jamaica.
Okay.
And yeah, I hear it's like a floating buffet, which is really cool because I really like to eat.
Oh, you never been on a cruise?
I have never been on one before, no.
Oh yeah, you about to be in for it. You talk about, those damn cookies. There's gonna be cookies.
Yeah, I'll probably come back 15 pounds heavier, so.
And it's like you said, it's a floating bar of food. Like breakfast is usually on point, then you got lunch that's right away, then you got dinner, and then there's like a midnight buffet. So people are up at midnight, like, yeah, I'm about to get me this food, and then they dance, go to sleep, wake up at like 6, 7 o'clock again for breakfast. Oh yeah, you in trouble.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
What cruise line?
MSC, I believe it's called.
Okay. I think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
But I only ever been on Carnival. I was thinking about the Royal Caribbean or the Celebrity Cruise, but I think Celebrity Cruise is just celebrity. It's not like celebrities be on it. I don't know.
That'd be cool though. That would be cool.
Yeah, what's my luck? I get on there and they got all these bodyguards like, stay away, stay away. I'm like, it's a free country. We're on a ship. It ain't that much space. But no, I seen you doing your podcasting. I haven't had a chance to tune in yet. But tell the audience about it. Like, what is your goal?
Yeah. So this is a fighter's journey to success. And it's literally like, the truth is, no matter who's playing the game's hard. And it's really harder than we would like it to be. And so I'm just giving insights on what's worked for me, what served me, what's helped my clients along the journey. So if it serves them, it serves them. And if they want to get a closer look at who Clifford Starks is and if I can be the person for them, it's a free invitation. So I just want to provide value to the marketplace so that they know they're not alone on their journey, because it can be a rough journey.
Oh, yeah.
You take a lot of punches and kicks.
Definitely. Let me see if I can get on this live, because I've been trying to get my phone to be working, but technology again.
I like keeping things interesting.
Right, especially today. Let me see. I'm gonna have to actually go on the web browser and see if I can see myself. But yeah, so ultimately, what I told, I think one guy, he said that basically, tentative. So Louis Mazzaro talked about like tentative reservations, and I think one guy was like that. I guess maybe he's using it improperly, but maybe he's using it right. It's one of those things where they're technically supposed to be like pending jobs, and then last minute or right before last minute, as you start to fill up, you call those customers and you make it seem like it's urgent. Hey, we're filling up. We had you as a pending job. Want to make sure if you still want to move. And it was kind of like to try to get that extra oomph on top of it. Like, hey, you still a valued customer. We want to take care of you. We got all your information. We just need to secure that deposit.
As a moving business owner, your day starts with a plan. But what happens when your movers don't show and that plan falls apart? Last minute no-shows. You're left to bootstrap, jumping in as an extra body. Yet sometimes, even that's not enough. This isn't just a disruption, it's a barrier to your business growth. Introducing Moving Force, your on-demand moving team. With Moving Force, say goodbye to no-shows and hello to peace of mind. With reliable, on-demand staff ensures you're never undermanned, turning your operational nightmares into a thing of the past. Moving Force, where every day is moving day and every move is smooth. Empower your business and keep growing without missing a beat. Join Moving Force today and move forward with confidence.
But, you know, it's sometimes if you feel depending on your CRM, if you're putting so many pending jobs that aren't like legit bookings, it can throw off your operations staff. It can throw off your sales team because they're not booking jobs on that day because they're like, oh, well, we already got jobs on the board, you know, but those are fictitious jobs. So, you know, I would probably just keep, you know, take all the information down, put it in like, you know, don't even pre-book them, just leave them in the lead bank, and then just tell them, hey, you know, I see that you want to move on this day, or tell your sales team, hey, look at all the jobs that's potentially urgent for next week, like somebody that needs to move on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and follow up with those people first and let them know, hey, we have all your information at this point. You know, we're filling up, or we have one more slot left. You know, really pitch a sense of urgency at that point without putting them on your schedule, and see if they still want to go with you for whatever reason. But yeah, it's been a while since I had the fun of booking a move, but it felt like, you know, it was fun when it happened. You know, just walking that customer through that process, and then they'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm willing to give you $10,000. Oh, I'm winning.
100%. Yeah,
Like I had to go ahead.
I know Lewis talks about, is it test, track, then tweak, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's honestly my favorite part of the entire process, because I swear you got to do that with everything, technology included, like as we were having our challenges with it today. Test, track, and tweak. I love that part of the journey to say, oh, if I do this right, then I get a $10,000 move on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
No, so I definitely, and I think we had one job that basically the job went, what was it? Oh, the customer had well over 200 pieces. And one item out of the 200 pieces got damaged. I think it was like a 2 or 3 truck move, and one piece got damaged. And I was like, and so she called us like, yeah, the move was good, but this one piece got damaged. And I was like, whoo, was that it? You know, she's like, what do you mean, was that it?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, lady, that is a win. You know, one piece, and there was 6 guys. You don't know my world. You know, but yeah, no, it's nothing like I feel like it's nothing like being in the moving business, but at the same token, it's one of those things that come with its headache as well as rewards. You can make tons of money. I remember when I first got my first $20,000 week, and I was looking at my bank account by Monday, and that bank account was looking juicy. I was like, oh, yes, we made money last week. And then payroll came. Well, I was like, guys, we're on a rat race again, because this week hopefully we're going to be making another 15 to 20,000, so it's going to really stack up. And then insurance hits. And you know, but I was lucky because the way my renewals worked, they all came around the summertime, except for workers' comp, which came in January, which was a nightmare. And when my first workers' comp quotes, they were like around $11,000 for the year, and they were like, yeah, you pay all your premium in 10 months, and you get 2 months for free. So it was approximately like, was it 11,000, 10 months? You're probably looking at about, what is it, almost $900 to $1,000 a month. And I was like, damn, that's kind of steep, you know? Like before we even start our month, we know we're 1,000 in the hole, you know? And it started getting, as business go on and on, it's like sometimes you become too big to fail. I ain't gonna say
Mhm.
like no Chase Bank, because if Chase failed at this point, the world will really feel it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
as a moving company, when you get to that point where you're running a $1 million operation, think
Mhm.
about all the stuff that's tied to your business, whether it's leased trucks, whether it's insurance, whether it's all these vendors that you're attached to.
Yeah.
It becomes to that point where if you're like, hey, I want to shut down tomorrow, you got to go through a process.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Respect and love to you, moving company owners, because it is not an easy game by any means. Like there's a lot of things to look at. Yeah,
Well,
and take
like
care of.
like when I closed my shop, I had to tell all my storage clients, like, hey, yeah, we gotta, try to get you out of here or get you transferred to somebody else because, and that's even a nightmare because one, they don't want to leave. That's
Yeah.
why they got storage. I
Yeah.
had a customer
Yeah.
who had a sofa in my storage for like almost 4 years. And it was just
Mm.
a sofa. And I'm just like, damn, you could have paid for that sofa 3 times over by now. But she's like, yeah, I'm still thinking about what I want to do with it. So for now, we'll just leave it in storage. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
You got me thinking, where do rich people store their stuff? Now I want to know because
Probably.
it's so true. Like people will leave things in places because it has sentimental value to them. I sometimes I don't know why they do what they do. Like they just do it.
Sure. It was like, okay, so this show, I don't know if you've seen it before, it's called Cold Case.
Uh, I
So
have
it's
not.
okay, so it's an old police show that came
Uh,
out in like the early 2000s. It's like
wait,
seven.
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, but go on. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
listening.
like it's like 7 seasons of it right now. I'm trying to catch up on all of them because it disappeared off of TV, but now it's
Mhm.
back on Roku. So I'm trying to catch up on them, and they had a lot of great actors in it from the days like Kiki Palmer. Uh, who else? They had the guy from like Tia Mowry, her husband in real life. I can't remember his name, but I know he played in like the game and all that other stuff. No, that's true.
Okay.
But nevertheless, there's a lot of actors out there. But it had a lot of good actors back then, and nevertheless, it goes over cold cases. So it goes over people that died in like 1969 or something
Mhm.
like that due to some type of murder. And these people that's in like 2000 or detectives that's in like 2003, 2005, they're going back to open those cases and try to solve them.
Mhm.
And it's very interesting because I'm like, damn, I would lose my mind because some of those people aren't even around anymore. So
Yeah,
how the heck am I supposed to ask you, do you remember what happened in this year?
yeah, yeah. Bro.
So, but it got me thinking about the customers that leave their items in storage for so many years. And now
Hmm.
every now and then, like once or every 6 months, you got to go around, clean it, wipe it down, get all the dust and the debris off of it, and just make sure
Yep.
that it's still in pristine shape. So if they ever come back 5 years later and say, "Hey, I want to get my stuff," oh, that still looks like it's in great shape. Wow.
Yeah. No,
So
I love that. Like it's interesting, like dealing with the psychology of people and how they respond to things. Because I'm almost thinking people move every 7 years. Like moving company owners have so much opportunity. I know there's a ton of opportunity, and
mhm.
I would so capitalize on it just because you guys have so much that you got to pay with the payroll, the people that you're working, your um insurance, sales people, you got sales team, operators, like trucks. There's a lot. There's a
It
lot of moving parts.
it is a lot of moving parts, but I think, and that's where I've been trying to explain to a lot of people is that it's about systems and processes, getting all this stuff in order
Yeah.
and understanding where what goes with what. I
Hmm.
was a big believer in, like I said, having folders, and those folders on my computer would be, hey, compliance, insurance, you know, maybe even put up a calendar in my office somewhere where I said, okay, on this date and this month, this insurance is due. And really just getting organized with everything that you got to pay. You know, every month I would go through my financial statements and I will see, you know, hey, do we have a bleed somewhere? And finding bleeds in your business, one is interesting but stressful at the same token because you know you have a bleed. And sometimes people patch it with more money.
Yeah.
And they say, oh yeah, I just need more money. I need more money. You know what? Let me take out this loan. And they think it's a Band-Aid. And it is a temporary Band-Aid, but that bleed is still there. And a lot of people don't look at their business that way. They just look at it as, oh, I need to make money. I need to make money.
Yep.
So I used to, every month, I used to just pull out my P&L statement and pull a profit and loss by percentage. So now if you do a profit and loss by percentage, every expense line item is a percentage of your income. And the reason why you want to pull that report versus just pulling a regular profit and loss statement is because you know your benchmarks. So if you know your cost of goods sold, everything that goes into what produces your move is supposed to be a certain percentage, and it's a little higher, it kind of makes it easier for you to pinpoint where the issue is. But if it's right where it needs to be, okay, well that's not the issue. But maybe my general expenses are, oh damn, my admin expenses is 17%. That's high. That's a bleed, you know, because it's supposed to be around 12%. So now you got to figure out, let me dig into that. Why is my admin payroll so high? Oh man, am I paying too much in commissions? Are they booking enough? Am I getting my return on my sales staff? And then basically from there, once you figure that out, you could be like, okay, you know what? We need to make a suggestion. Now, the thing is, when it comes to your sales staff, you have to be strategic of how you make that change, because anybody you come to your sales staff and say, hey, you mofos are making too much money. We got to cut your pay. They're not going to take to it well.
Nope. not even a little bit. Like, oh, okay, well, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out.
Shoot, I had sales staff talking about, we ain't getting paid enough. I'm like, what the hell? You getting paid about $2,700 or more a month. What do you mean you're not getting paid enough? You know?
No one thinks they're ever getting paid enough. Like,
right?
I've never met a person that says like, oh, you are paying me more than enough. You need to take some of this back.
So I said, okay. So I had to have a managers meeting with my financial controller, and I said, hey, how can we butter this up where we make the money look like it's better if they go this way instead of staying on this same path? Because if we do that, it can help us in the short run. And hopefully make them make more money in the long run versus making a lot of money in the short run. And those are those weird conversations you got to have. And then when you got to get the buy-in, you say, hey, so instead of paying you 10% for the sale now, if we pay you 7.5%, but we do it this way, you'll make a lot more money. And they're like, it does sound like we'll make a lot of money. You know, and luckily hopefully they ain't mathematicians. They're like, hold the hell up, hold up. So we carry this one over here. No, you get me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's all about buy-in. You know, I even gave my sales manager 1% override of all the sales, because you know the goal for her was not to be on the calls, was necessarily to make sure that the branch hit its sales goals for them. So you know, and those are little tricks you learn, you know, and you start to think, hey, what's 1% of, you know, goddamn like $100,000, and I think that's, if I'm correct, that's probably maybe 1,000, maybe maybe.
100,000 for 1%. I thought that was
You're gonna maybe bring up the
10.
calculator, but
Yeah.
let's see. Times 1%. Yeah, so it's a $1,000. Oh, see, I
1,000.
mean, no one knows math
Yep.
because I'm like,
Good
damn,
stuff.
I gotta make sure I don't pay too much. Um, because you gotta think at the end of the month, where you scooping $1,000 or $2,000 from when you still got to do that crazy payroll.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, it adds up. That's for sure.
So so you and then you got that 7.5% you're still paying out. You got and depending on how many reps, so that's what 15% plus the 16 for the rep, the 1%. So that's 16% of money that got to come out of somewhere. And unless you had a strategic way of saving your money, and most people just put it all in the same pot. I get income all into this account. I pay payroll out of this account. And then, oh, it's not. I got to find 16% of something to pay. So we used to try to save the commissions throughout the month, like start putting like 5 to 6% away into like a asset savings account. And then basically at the end of the month, hope that savings account accumulated enough money to add up to what we need to pay out in commissions so that we didn't have to worry about last minute stuff.
Yeah.
And same thing for taxes. I stopped paying taxes quarterly because I knew that every quarter varied. And it was a nightmare. Some quarters, I think third quarter of one year, I had to pay $7,000 in personal income. And I was just like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But ultimately I was able to pay it on a yearly basis and stop paying it on a quarterly basis. And now it looked more reasonable because now it was off of true numbers. Because if you overpay IRS, they'll give it to you in a refund. But it's just like overpaying a bill and talk about, oh, well, hey, we'll give you your money back later. You don't want that money back later. You need that money now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to credit your future electric bill so that you don't have to pay that much. No, I didn't want to pay that now.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, it's such a stern reminder. One, you have to have the eye to look for what you need to look for. And two, finding other resources who have eyes that can see things that you might not even see. Because when you're looking at where the bleeds are in your business, what I learned going through this journey was I thought when you made 10 million plus, you were free. Like you got where you needed to go. Everything was good. And sometimes they even have more problems than smaller businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get to learn and figure out like, holy crap, there's a lot to look at when you're looking at things. And small things make the big difference too.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I've always been a big believer, even from day one when I first started my business. I didn't even know I would still use some of these templates, and I don't. But I end up creating processes for everything. I didn't even know what a process was, truthfully, when I first started. Because obviously I never had another business where I needed to create them. But it was one of those things where it's like, how do you do this? And I'm like, and I found out how to do it. And then I said, you know what? Let me write this down because I might forget how to do it later. And nobody else is going to tell me how to do it, because it's like with retail, how retail can tell you if you're a retail employee, like for Target or Walmart, they could tell you, oh, well, hey, we're going to give you X amount of hours next week. And you're like, well, how the hell you can only give me X amount of hours? Why can't I get my 40? Oh, well, the store hasn't really been doing good, so we are only able to allocate this amount of hours to you. Are they BSing me right now? They just don't want to give me that full time. So I was like, you know what? Let me look into that. And I was like, maybe because my sales reps were hourly, I could use that same logic to, allocate hours, even though it ain't retail, but it kind of gives me something to go off of. And I found, and it took me forever, but I found the formula, and I ended up using the formula inside my business for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then I scrapped that whole process. I said, this ain't gonna work. If we don't bring no money in, let's say we only brought in $5,000 this week. So with $5,000 this week, it only allows me to allocate X amount of hours for the future week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, but if you only exhume X amount of hours off of the previous week's revenue, you're not gonna have no staff because you didn't bring in no money. So I was like, oh, well, this ain't gonna work. You know what? Y'all motherfuckers just need to do your damn job. I'll develop another process.
It's a fun journey, that's for sure. And there's a lot of learning lessons to go through it.
Yep, I ended up creating probably over 1,000 different processes. Some of them was great, some of them was horrible. And I ended up breaking my flash drive because I didn't know about all that cloud stuff. I didn't trust the cloud, like a recent customer I spoke with not too long ago. There was an older customer. I said, hey, if there ain't no clouds in the sky, you can't save your stuff. Like, oh, is he pulling a fast one on me? So, but no, I didn't know anything about the cloud. I didn't trust it because, if you don't pay for it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, if you got a flash drive, you pay for it once and it's gonna be there as long as it don't break.
Yep.
And I broke my flash drive. I don't know how I did it, but I broke it. But luckily I was always backing it up to something.
Oh, that's good.
And I was stressed because I was like, all my processes that I created in the first 3 years of trying to run this business was on that flash drive. And I backed it up to like a either my computer or like a external drive, and but it wasn't current. It was probably like maybe missing like a few months. So I had to kind of think and rebuild all of those processes again. And I said, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to hide my external drive so that it's not in a place where it can get damaged. And every week or every 2 weeks, I'm going to back up my information like clockwork so that that gets saved. Then I started using Google Drive. Then I started using TrainYou. And I started realizing that a lot of my processes was going on the cloud again. But again, companies that charge you, and now you say, well, hey, I don't want to pay you anymore because maybe I can't afford to, or it's just not worth it. How are you getting all your files? So now you got to find a way of how to back up all those files again. So it's just a nightmare. So I just think having a flash drive has always been just benefits.
Yep. No, I like how you, and just off of what you're going through, I swear the learning lessons never stop, right? Like there's always something new to learn as you're going through the process. And it was those simple nuances where you're like, because you start in business, this is what I see at least. A person starts in business, they think it's not going to be as bad as it's going to be, right? They get started and like, this isn't so bad. This is actually kind of fun. And then you start making a few good sales and you're like, woo, all right. Party night, every night, let's do this. And then the learning lessons. I don't even want to call them mistakes. I call them learning lessons. Then the learning lessons start showing themselves and revealing themselves. And you start going, oh crap, I need to do this. And I need to do this. And I need to put this over here. Because you can actually, there's been people who have created 6- and 7-figure businesses and they don't have systems in place. They don't have processes in place. They did it with sheer will and determination. And it can be done until it can't or until it falls apart. And you go, oh, well, I got to learn these lessons. I got to put these in place. And then just how your flash drive did what your flash drive did. And you go, crap. And yeah, I bet your heart sunk where you're like,
was I, and the crazy part is, think about it. So I've always been, I try to be organized so I didn't lose my mind. So I would departmentalize every position, a sales manager, a sales rep, a mover, an operations person, and it'll have all these different folders on my flash drive. And I would say, okay, whenever I hired a new sales manager, let me go on their computer that they're going to be using, delete everything from the old person, and upload a whole new folder of sales, sales manager stuff.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and how annoying that was. Like, am I IT? Is this what IT does?
Yeah.
This doesn't sound efficient. So, but Train You, which I would recommend to a lot of people, and their actual system has gotten a lot better now that they incorporated AI, which is phenomenal.
Nice.
Pretty much it's like again, everybody's kind of incorporating the chat GPT model. Even Facebook went AI meta, where now you can have it create you a post in a matter of seconds, or you can have it generate you a photo just by, like, if you just start typing, it'll start trying to predict what photo you were actually looking to have created. And then it'll try to get very close to that photo or exact. And then if you wanted to make it animated where it actually has some motion, you can do that as well. So that's kind of why I think Facebook went away from having third-party apps connect to it, so that they can really have people focus on using their platform and like mastering their AI meta. And then with Train You was doing the same thing. Hey, you create a process somewhere in their system, and then basically, if somebody has a question in your organization, hey, how do you calculate a local move? Because you created a process somewhere in the system, their Chat GPT variation of it is going to basically be like, oh, well, hey, here's how you're going to create a local estimate. You're going to follow these steps, without actually having to go and click on that actual process. So I found that to be phenomenal. So eventually I might go back to it, but right now I think they want to like almost maybe like 200 or 1,000. No, I think like $1,000 for the year or something like that. And I was just like, Google Drive is free right now. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. Timing, that's for sure. Hey, brother, I gotta take off. I actually am getting ready to do some mental training, and I'm going to a mental gym. So I'm curious to see what this experience is like.
Too much mental. All right. Well, that will take us home.
All right. Well, what I will say is let's all keep moving forward. Let's all keep having fun. And if there's anything specific that you would like us to speak on as you're going through your journey, I know summers are busy for some and not so busy for others right now. Like the industry is getting hit, that's for sure. But there's always an innovative way to look at things, and there's always a way to not only win but thrive. And we're in a strange space to where when the right questions are asked or presented, we can thrive. So if you're looking to thrive in your moving business, let us know how we can support you, because we would absolutely love to.
Definitely.
And with
And I would say definitely, obviously, hey, you made it through COVID, you made it through the '08 crash, and now we're going through the housing market issue. But at the end of the day, you may come down a little bit, but you're going to come back stronger. But it's your systems and your processes that's going to get you there to be sustainable, to get to that next level and be ready for the next event that we don't know what's to come. But yeah, go out there, keep thriving, use this summertime to get where you got to get. All right, y'all. Take care.
Have a great one, guys. Take care. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir.